What's up guys, Rich Duper Bash. I'm out here in the garage. Just want to do a quick overview of my latest build. This is basically my 1/7 scale Orange Darling XL, I think I'm going to call it. Essentially this is like an extra long Creighton with a Mojave chassis. Not too new of a concept, but something I've been wanting to do for a while. Big shout out to all the guys that have already built these. Essentially it's a Mojave chassis with Creighton parts. This particular rig is definitely a mutt. It's just kind of a mix of brand new and kind of used parts I've had for quite a while. I've been wanting to build this truck for quite some time, guys. I've just been busy with a lot of different projects and kind of testing different parts. So the goal with this truck, guys, is I just wanted something that would definitely get the power down well. Being quite a bit longer than a standard Creighton, this definitely does the job. I also just wanted to see myself what the handling was like. So at this point, guys, I'm just waiting on a couple more things for this rig. Otherwise, it's pretty much done. I've had it out in the street several times for some shakedowns. Had to make some adjustments. I still have some final tuning to do to the suspension. All in all, I'm super stoked with the way this thing came out with the handling. So for the body, guys, this is a 1972 Chevy C10. I've been running these shorter bodies for years. This one's a long bed, and you will see on the truck it is a little bit on the short side. I essentially just modified the rear end to kind of go with it, just cut off the wheel well. So this setup essentially is about 2 inches longer than a standard Creighton, guys. It's pretty straightforward. The main things you need for this conversion are a Mojave length chassis. You need Mojave/Italian braces, both front and rear, and you need this longer Mojave front drive shaft. Other than that, everything is pretty much a direct fit. You also need Mojave specific mudguards to fit this chassis correctly. So for electronics, I bought a brand new Max 6 combo from Hobbywing. I was definitely tempted to go ahead and throw in the Hobbywing 4985 that came with the kit, the 1650. The only thing is I know my Hobby Star 4092 1730 kV. I know this motor is a little bit lighter than the Hobbywing. Definitely has tons of torque, tons of power. Works great with a Max 6, so I'm just going to stick with this for right now. So for servo, I elected to use the Savox. This is the 1230 SG waterproof. This sucker's got plenty of torque. It is a little bit taller, so I was making contact with the chassis. For my servo mount, this is an older Voltage Hobbies mount that I got from one of my other trucks. I did have to use a couple servo risers just to make sure I had full clearance from the chassis. Here's a shot of my foundation here, guys. Obviously, this is 7075 4mm M2C Racing chassis. This was an absolute must for this build, along with quality 7075 chassis braces, both front and rear. These are from Voltage Hobbies. So are the towers, both front and rear. I've had these towers for quite some time. So guys, I elected to run standard diffs. I went ahead and shimmed these with Mugen Seiki. I might run EXP gears at some point, but honestly, I just don't care as long as my diffs are shimmed and I'm kind of treating them sensibly and just keeping them maintained. I'm perfectly fine with just the standard diffs. You'll notice I've got the Hot Racing diff cases. I'm running these both front and rear, and I've also got the M2C Racing locking hinge pin system. Big shout out once again to Kimberly with the Basherqueen. You'll see I've got her carbon fiber brace. Again, she uses these Hot Racing ends, these little aluminum ends. This brace was absolutely perfect fitment on the truck. From what my test team brothers told me, it's pretty much essential to have a tower-to-tower brace, regardless of what chassis and braces you're running, only because this chassis is so long. The biggest need to run a tower-to-tower, guys, is the front Mojave drive shaft. For some reason, it's only got like maybe 2 millimeters of play. So you get any little bit of chassis flex, and apparently these suckers are bending. So I've already tested the Basherqueen parts on my Outcast. So far, these parts have been absolutely stellar. A couple other details with the truck, guys. I went with the older version sway bar balls. Here are the old steel ones. I really prefer these over the new plastic ones. I also fitted M2C Racing hardened steel out drives on all 4 corners. I'm also running a 7075 suspension block up here near the upper A-arms, and of course the 7075 steering rack. You'll see I'm running RPM arms, both front and rear. These shocks were borrowed off my limited edition Outcast for now. Essentially, I'm just waiting for another set of M2C Racing bladderless, the ZRS setup that's been so awesome. That's the last thing I forgot to kind of get for this truck. Aside from getting suspension dialed in the rest of the way, guys, I just need to get my body reinforced with some shoe goo. Speaking of Basherqueen, I want to give a quick shout out to Mike with GameChanger RC. I just got another fan set up. You'll see I got my heatsink here. What's awesome is Mike and Kimberly with Basherqueen, they basically joined forces. You'll notice the carbon fiber here. This is a killer ESC mount for your standard 35mm screws. Essentially, this enables you to just bolt this sucker right on. Guys, these things are super powerful, but you'll notice the carbon fiber framing, both top and bottom. These essentially have all the hardware you need to bolt right up to a heatsink. As far as the ADA stuff goes, guys, you probably know that the EXB Creighton came with 6mm shafts. For those of you that want the ultimate beefcake, I just want to give you a little sneak shot of this M2C Racing prototype here we're working on. You'll see Mitch went ahead and made his own Delrin cartridges, his own inserts, his own seals. So I measured just over 7 millimeters with this hardened drive shaft, and look at the beef on this 7075 rod end. So enough babbling, guys. I'm super stoked to finally do my maiden run with this, hopefully this weekend. Just need to get this body reinforced, hopefully today. Get my ZRS shock kit in from M2C Racing. I want to give another big thanks and huge shout out to all my test team brothers, Eric, Chris, and James, for all their tips with doing this build. I'll throw in some recent bash footage late. Nice. That was sick, Victor. Oh, nice.
There you go.
Oh, nice. That was awesome. So that's a GameChanger fan?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, guys, random construction bash with the boys. Oh! Whoa! This thing's crazy, dude. I'm gonna give it back before I hit something.
It drives way good.
Oh, dude, it's freaking badass, dude.
Great.
Thank you, man. Oh! Oh! I went into the pit. Dang, dude. Well, this was the landing area here. Clearly, she went a little off course.
Yeah. This one right here.
Oh, yeah. Well, that hit like that'll probably bend any. Who knows how? I tried to at least level off, but it must have just landed literally. Who knows if it hit the pipe, one of these boulders. Nice, nice, dude. You just cleared the manhole.